Hi everyone. I was a bit reluctant to make this video. I wasn't actually going to film this, but I really wanted a video like this for when I was going through the experience. Excuse the lighting, it is about, I think it's about 9:30 in the night, and I don't know, I just decided to put it up there before, basically I had the time to. I'm going to be talking about my bunion surgery experience. I'm 14 years old. My mum noticed I had bunions around the age of 6, and I know most people say for a 14-year-old bunions are quite bad, but it was never to do with any tight, incorrect fitting shoes. It was my grandpa and my gran both have quite severe bunions, and I inherited them sadly from them. So, thank you, grandparents. This isn't going to be like a filmed week by week, because I don't know, I did leave it quite a long time to film it, but I had my surgery 6 weeks ago. I had my surgery the 21st of June. 21st of July, and it's the 30th of August today. So it's been about 6 weeks, I think. Now, I did have bunions on both feet. My left foot was a 26-degree angle, and my right foot was a 36-degree angle. They were pretty severe, and I will show you pictures of them and everything in a bit, and I'll tell you my experience of week by week. My hospital experience. I have never had surgery, except for obviously my bunions, so I was terrified. I've been waiting about 3 years to have this surgery, and every single day of those 3 years I'd have a time of the day where I'd worry about it so much, to the extreme, because I have a fear of hospitals, I have a fear of needles, I have a fear of anything like that. But as soon as I got to the hospital, then I was introduced to my nurse, who was really nice. I think she was called Kerry, oh god. Yeah, and if you are afraid of needles like me, I think it's a certain age, but I'm sure if you actually ask if you can have this, then they'll give it to you. But I was asked if I wanted some magic cream, which is numbing cream, which they put on the back of my hand, both hands here. They did a massive blob of it, and they put this clear sticker thing over it to keep it there. And because I think I waited about 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, which may seem quite a long time, but it isn't for waiting for an a hospital surgery. After those 2 hours, or 3 hours, the patch of my hand where they would inject me for my anaesthetic, is it? Basically when they put me to sleep, they had to inject into my vein. And the numbing cream I didn't really think would work, but if you touched your hand with that numbing cream, you could not feel a thing. I had day surgery, so I didn't have to stay overnight. I had to get there for, I think it was 11 o'clock, but we arrived at 10, because I don't know, my family are always early for everything. So we had to get there for 11, and my surgery was at 2:30, and I got out of the hospital and left to go home at 6, so it wasn't too bad. After I woke up, I'll tell you about the being put to sleep. I was offered for my parents to come in with me, but I didn't want that, so I asked if I could go in alone, and they agreed, and they're very sweet about it. So I followed this lovely doctor or nurse, but it was a male nurse, into the room where I was going to be put to sleep, and there were two men in there. They took my dressing gown. Obviously, I had one of those hospital robes on. They took my dressing gown and my slippers, and put them in like this bag thing for me to get given back when I'd woken up. They led me down on this bed, stuck. I'm not quite sure what they were. You know, in Casualty or something, it's like circular stickers, and they stick them on your chest with like pipes or something, leading up to this mechanical mechanism. I don't know. Well, they did that, and that was fine because they're just stickers. And then they grabbed my hand, my arm. I think it was this arm, my left. One of the male nurses grabbed my arm here and squeezed it quite a few times, and then I had to do this sort of thing for quite a few times, and then once I had done that, and after the squeezing on like my muscle area or something had finished, the one of the other nurse slapped my hand a few times, and that's to get the vein up apparently so they can see properly where it is. And I looked away for this part because I always find looking away from needles just helps, so I was over here like that, and then I was just looking away that way. And then they put the needle into my hand, but I didn't feel a thing. The numbing, I'm not just making this up, for someone who is terrified and has a phobia of needles, it was absolutely fine. They put a needle in my vein, I didn't feel it, then they put the tube and stuff of everything in, and then I was feeling a bit drowsy, I was a bit out of it. They were asking me questions, I was like, yeah. And one of the nurses came up behind me, so I was led down, then they came here, and said good night, and I was like, what? I'm not asleep yet. And then they put this, you know, when you get put to sleep with like a gas mask sort of thing, not a gas mask, but you know what I mean, a gas mask. They took that and put it on my face, and literally I don't even think I breathed in, and I was just gone. I remember that, just being absolutely gone. The next thing I know, I wake up and I'm with one of my nurses, Maggie. I'm still a bit drowsy, but that wore off in about half an hour to an hour. I was wheeled over to the recovery room in my bed, and they asked if I wanted anything to eat or anything to drink. They don't force it on you, but they do genuinely ask you if you could have something to eat or something to drink. So I had 4 biscuits and 2 cups of orange squash. So I had that, and when I woke up, I still had the needle in my hand, but the numbing cream hadn't worn off yet, so everything was fine. That part is still fine. It's taped down, so you can't really knock it or anything, and it doesn't hurt. You can't feel it in your hand. You can just see it in your hand. You're like, ooh, that's disgusting. And I had these big bandages on my feet, which I will show you a picture of at the end of the video. And it was strange. But my parents came in and they spoke to me, and then everything like that, and then they got me changed, and my nurse helped me into my chair. Like, you do have to wait there, and I know that sounds like, whoa, what? I've just had surgery on my feet, how am I going to be able to do this? It's fine. They come and like hold your arms and then help you into your wheelchair, and it's fine. I had dissolvable stitches, which I was very glad of. I did not want to have stitches taken out. So I've got dissolvable stitches, and then when I had recovered and everything, I had to sit in another recovery room when I was like off the anaesthetic, and but I still had the needle in my hand. And then my nurse came over and was like, right, I'm going to take the needle out of your hand, it's not going to hurt. So I looked away again, and she took the tape off, I didn't feel it, and then she took the needle out, and I did not feel a thing. You literally can't feel it. It doesn't even feel like something's being taken out. There's no pain, you can't even feel it. It is fine. She got a little cotton tube thing. I think it might have had this, I don't know, antibacterial stuff on it. She put that down on it, on the place where the needle had just been, and then taped it down and said, when you get home you can take it off and it'll be all fine. So after that, I was wheeled to the car. So the whole process was from 11 until 2:30 until 5. And then about 6, I think it was, I was able to go home. My dad, who was the car which we went in, he has one of the cars where it's just 2 doors and then you have to pull the front seat up to get in the back. So I couldn't do that, obviously, because I just had surgery on my feet. How was I going to do that? So it was fine. I sat in the front, and then the whole way back, the potholes are annoying, but it is fine. So when I got home, by the way, they numb your feet, so you can't even feel you've just had surgery because your feet are completely numbed. It doesn't even feel like you have feet, to be quite honest with you. So when I got home, still couldn't feel my feet or anything. We had a bed laid up downstairs, which I slept on for about 3 nights, I think, and then I was able to go up the stairs. I do not recommend going up the stairs until like 3 days after your surgery. I very sadly, and I feel so bad for people who have to have this constantly, but I had a commode, and like this, it's like a support for the upstairs toilet. It was like a frame which went around it so that when I finished I could use it to help get myself up, and that was the equipment I had. And so I got home, I went to sleep. The next morning it wasn't severe pain, but I don't want to worry any of you who are going through this, because seriously, if a 14-year-old girl like me, who's very, very sensitive, can go through it, then anyone can. So I had quite a lot of pain, but I was having Nurofen liquid capsule painkillers, and they worked perfectly. They completely kicked off any pain in my feet. See what I did there? Kicked off. I'm sorry. The second day, which was because I had my surgery the Wednesday, so the Tuesday and the Wednesday were the days I had quite bad pain, but I just kept taking the painkillers. The Thursday wasn't too bad. The pain was wearing off, and it was uncomfortable basically. And then after that, I had no pain at all, just discomfort. It wasn't pain; it was aches and things like that. I was using a wheelchair and crutches, but to get around the house, I could weight bear. They say 5 minutes every hour you should weight bear. I couldn't handle 5 minutes. I was sleeping a lot of the time, and my mum didn't want to wake me because she said that was like healing sleep. So I did all of that. I wasn't the fastest walker, I wasn't Mo Farah or anything, but I could walk around the house with my crutches and my mum and dad's assistance for about 2 weeks. The 3rd week, and the 4th, and the 5th, which is what I'm in now, I'm in the 5th, I'm just coming up to my 6th week. I've had no pain at all. I can quite happily walk around. Whenever I go out into town or anywhere, I do need to either take my wheelchair or crutches. If I'm just going in the car with my mum and I'm going to the supermarket and maybe a few other random little shops, and I'll most likely be fine on my crutches. But if I'm going out to, say, go out proper shopping, like clothes shopping, or I'm going on a day out, then I will need my wheelchair. But I can't say what the experience would be like if you're having one foot done with the recovery time, because you can rely on the other foot to keep you, I don't know, upright. But because I've had both done, they are both the same, and it's quite hard to do things. But I think I'm going to leave it at that for the information for now. I'm going to show you some pictures, and yeah. So these were my feet before my bunion surgery. As you can see, the right foot is a lot worse than the left, but the left is still pretty bad. As I said earlier, the left foot was a 26-degree angle, and the right is a 36-degree angle, which is classed as severe. So these are my hospital shoes. They are Velcro. They are not the best looking, but they are comfy, and yeah, that is what I've been told to be given, and that's what the hospital have given me. So now let's look at this. Is what my feet look like now. I'm very pleased with the results, but I still have, I'm not sure if this is the swelling, but I still have a slight sort of bunion here, and this toe still goes over a bit. Please excuse the dryness and the toenails. I am not allowed to paint my toenails or use any harsh moisturizers or anything. These are the scars. I don't have any stitches coming out of these scars. As you can see, it's quite a clean cut. I do have quite a lot of dryness on my feet. But yeah, that's the left foot. This is after 5 weeks, by the way. This is the recovery after 5 weeks. This is the right foot. Here you can see where I had a stitch coming out of there, but I had to cut it because it was catching on things, but I kind of wish I didn't cut it because now it catches on things even more because of the dryness. I have a bit of scabbing there, quite a lot of dryness, and you go up to here, my foot here, and the scarring is healing well. Now here, please excuse the toenails, they are absolutely gruesome. I have a stitch here, which like I said earlier is dissolvable, but I don't want to cut this one because I don't want it to be like the other one where it catches on everything. Just to say, I have quite bad, it's not as bad anymore, but I have quite bad bruising here on my foot, and it's sort of gone, you can't see it anymore because I've been taking arnica tablets, which are to help with swelling and bruising, but I had quite a lot of bruising here, just in this patch here, underneath my toenails on both feet. You can still kind of see the bruising here. Now that, I have to admit, that isn't like any normal bruising. It does hurt. It hurts if I touch it, it does hurt. I have something else to say, that they had to cut some nerves in my feet, in my big toes, so I cannot barely feel my big toes. I can barely feel them at all, which I hope doesn't stay for the rest of my life. I don't really know why, but it isn't great. I can move them around and everything. I can show you, but I'm got up now. I can get up and walk about. It is absolutely fine. You don't want to knock them or anything. I like wearing my shoes in bed because it stops me from knocking them. This is just a picture I had after the surgery while I was still in hospital. This picture was taken in the hospital recovery room. This was the bandages which I had on. They were pretty thick and they got taken off within 10 days. So it was the 30th of August when I went to 30th of July when I went to take my bandages off. Just another photo of my bandages with the hospital shoes. Not looking my best, obviously, but yeah. This was my feet when I had my bandages removed. As you can see, there is the bruising on the toes, and these plasters were comfy, and I had steri strips underneath, but I had to take them off on my own, which wasn't fun, I have to admit. Now, these are my feet with the steri strips on. Please ignore the Snapchat caption. It was quite hard. I didn't enjoy taking off the first lot of bandages, but the steri strips had to be taken off as well, and that wasn't as bad. I just covered my feet in baby oil and let them soak for a bit, and they were easy enough to come off. As you can see, they look quite good. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any other questions about your surgery, or anyone who you know who's having the surgery, then feel free to ask me in the comments. I really do apologise this is such a long video, but I couldn't find a proper video explaining any of this anywhere else on YouTube, and I've seen some quite extreme things on Google about bunion surgery, so I decided to tell you my experience and put everything to rest. And I know experiences might not be exactly the same, but trust me, I needed to cover every single part of this journey. I'll try and keep you updated if you want. Comment if you want me to keep updating you. But other than that, I really wish you well and good luck if you are having the surgery, and if your bunions are giving you pain, or if you can't balance properly because of them, which is I had both of those things, then I would definitely recommend getting this surgery. Thank you for watching. Bye.